Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 wrestling talk show in the whole entire world. This is Ringside with Gio to bring you your Monday Night Raw review. So a lot of things did go down today. Looking like Bayley might have turned heel. We're not sure yet. I gotta see, of course, what's coming on the next few weeks coming up. But before I get into Monday Night Raw, boy, oh boy, look what we have over here, huh? Where are the stars? Where are the stars? Where are the stars so people could comment about it? Where did they go? I don't know. I think they vanished. Look at this new setup. The background, we got the green screen. The designs around it. Ooh, big changes were coming. I told you guys. I told you. Now, since I got that out of the way, I got to bring up about what happened last week. Look, guys, I go to college, all right? I'm a good student, all right? I'm a good student. I had to make sure everything was getting all perfect and stuff. You know, this is when the first week all the syllabuses come out. I got to make sure everything's perfect. Everything's going smooth, and everything is. So I had to take the week off to make sure I was, 100% focused on school. And I'm hoping tomorrow I can do a SmackDown review. This is just depending on this hurricane. I'm hoping it doesn't hit South Florida. That's where I am located. So I doubt it is. They're saying it's going to curve up unless Dorian decides to make a U-turn and just say, screw you, Florida, and give me a Stone Cold Stunner. Like, Jesus. So, so I'm going to start out this Monday Night Raw review. So the show opens up with Seth Rollins and Braun Stroman in the middle of the ring with Michael Cole for the contract signing, in which they're going to be defending their Raw Tag Team Championships and the Universal title. It honestly, in my opinion, doesn't make sense to have these guys defend the Raw Tag Team titles and then go up against each other. I don't know how this is going to work. It's a waste to have these guys as your Raw Tag Team Champions instead of guys like the Revival. The Viking Raiders should be the War Raiders, but that's another story for another day. Also, it's a shame, should be maybe the OC. There's just so much good talent. By the way, where are the Usos? Where are the Usos? I completely lost them. I don't know where they are. I don't know. Maybe they went to AEW. By the way, AEW All Out. Wow, I can't wait to start covering. Oh man, I can't wait to start covering AEW. It's gonna be so good. But WWE is though my home. That's like basically my hometown right there. But of course, I gotta give some love to AEW. What they're doing is great. It's unbelievable. That pay-per-view was great. I'm sorry I couldn't cover that. Was preparing for Dorian, but eventually we will be covering AEW as well. But now let me get back to this again. Man, I keep on getting off task. It might be because of this green screen, man. Man, this is so good. So good. People can't bring up the stars anymore, can't they? They can't. Alright, so Seth Rollins is asked about defending both titles at Clash of Champions. Seth says he has done it before and that he and Braun can beat Ziggler and Rude. Seth says that he's going in and out of Clash as double champion. Braun says basically that they could beat Ziggler and Rude. Well, he could beat Ziggler and Rude, and he's going to come out as champion as well. And then, of course, AJ Styles comes out with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson by his side, saying like, "Oh, guys, what we have over here, the same old stuff." And basically, like how did Braun Strowman deserve that title shot? Is what AJ's trying to get across. Is it he took his United States Championship and he's like, "Oh, do you just have to look at it? Like, do you just have to look at the title to get a shot?" And he tells Carl and Luke, "Don't look at it. You guys can't look at my title because you'll probably get a shot at it." And that was really funny. He was just absolutely dumping all over what WWE has been doing for like the past few years about who gets a shot at a title. WWE doesn't really take into account wins and losses anymore. Braun Strowman hasn't done anything to gotten a Universal title, shot. He just hasn't. I just don't understand what he has done to gotten that chance to fight against Seth Rollins, but it makes no sense. But yet again, who else is going to fight Seth Rollins at Clash of Champions? Like, who? They're not building anybody else up. So just might as well be Braun Strowman because he picked up the title and held it. Man, maybe I might have to do that too, get a shot at it. Like, it gets to a point that, like, they're getting out title shots. Hot potatoing. They're hot potatoing the title. So then they come out, they make fun of the fact how you can just look at the title and you get a shot at it. And Strowman flips the table and takes out Styles, and Braun and Seth take out Gallows and Anderson before Raw goes to a commercial break. So this leads to Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins versus the OC with AJ Styles ringside. Rollins pins Anderson with a roll-up, and immediately after the bell, AJ jumps Seth but Rollins throws him out of the ring. So Strowman starts doing that thing, when he runs around the ring, like, excuse me. Thank you. So Strowman starts running around the ring, and he just tackles, like, everybody that, what he usually does when he starts running around. He hits the people with his shoulder, and he hits Galloson, hits Anderson, and then he accidentally takes out Rollins because he was just in the moment. And during that, Ziggler, while he's, like, pleading to Seth, like, yo, it was my mistake, my bad. Ziggler and Roode come out to help the OC take out Strowman with steel steps. Roode takes out Ziggler with a glorious DDT. The two tag teams hit Strowman with a magic killer. And then AJ hits Braun with a phenomenal forearm. So that's what that consisted of. That was the opening. That was how the show started off. It was pretty good. But once again, what has Roode and Ziggler, like, why do they become a tag team? This is what I mean. They're just putting guys together for the sake of the tag teams. For example, they'd rather have the name of Seth Rollins and Braun Stroman as champions instead of the Revival, because it's like Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder. Which name is more brought up and more marketable when it comes to WWE terms? Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, or Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman? Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. That's why they're doing that. But if you look at AEW, it's like, look what they're doing with their tag team division. And you got so many fans behind it. All you have to do is use the tag team division like AEW or NXT is using. There's no need to put these two people with each other and just call them a tag team. Have it be natural. I understand why they're doing it. I get it because of the name recognition. But at the same time, you can't just like forget about the tag team division that you have in WWE. WWE has a very good tag team division. They should honestly forget a Raw Tag Team Champion and a SmackDown Tag Team Champion. Forget that. Merge the division. They should also merge the women's division. And that's it. There's no need to have two separate divisions for that certain type of area. So now next is Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. By the way, so Roode pins Hawkins with a glorious DDT. And by the way, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, I don't know if you knew this, they beat the Revival at WrestleMania for the tag team championships. Let me remind you again. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins beats the Revival at WrestleMania for the tag team championships. Let that sink in. Look where they are now. See what I mean? They're now really using the tag team division on the main roster. It's frustrating to see at times. You just want it to thrive, but they just, I don't know. It's weird. Hopefully one day it's going to change. I just don't know when. Now next, Lacey Evans getting some TV time, I see here. So she's going up against Natalya. While Evans was walking down the ramp, Natalya gives Lacey a shoulder tackle. Evans wins via pinfall after a woman's right after throwing her handkerchief at Natalya, causing a distraction. So, yeah, they just continue to give Lacey Evans, some TV time. I see that WWE is pretty high on her, and I could understand why. In NXT, her ring work is good, but I'm not a fan. I'm not really sold on the character. I get it. It's kind of original. It's new. It's not something you're gonna see every day on TV. But Lacey Evans, once again, she's a good in-ring worker, but the character I'm not really fully interested in. They should really revamp everything about her. And by the way, I've mentioned this. Why is Natalya still fighting on TV? I keep on saying Natalya. Natalie, why is Natalie still fighting on TV? I just don't get it. Her arm just got dislocated like freaking 15, I meant to say a week or like 5 days ago. It's like the same, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Why does she come out when her shoulder almost got dislocated not too long ago by Becky Lynch? It's just like, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I guess her arm healed though. She must be Thanos or something, because like, snap of the finger, she's back in it. So, next is the Becky Lynch promo. Lynch asks Sasha Banks where she is. Becky says that she heard what Sasha said last week and said it was all a load of crap. She says that NXT Banks was the centerpiece while Becky was just the sidekick. She says that Sasha was given everything while she had to fight for everything she got. So what I really like about this promo is that Becky was very into it. She was very aggressive throughout this thing. She was really into it. And then out of nowhere, when Sasha's music came out, Becky was like, okay, like here we go. And I really like that. I actually, low-key kind of got me, it gets you very intrigued in the storyline. That got me very intrigued today even more, just to see the frustration and the passion that Becky Lynch has to get in the ring and whoop Sasha Banks or something like that. Just like, just building that up, and I like to see that. So Sasha says she isn't doing anything for free for these people. She says she will wrestle when she gets paid, and that will be at Clash of Champions for the Raw Women's Championship. Becky accepts the challenge. Sasha says that after Becky loses, the man will be the boss's. You know what? I almost said it. I forgot. PG channel. I almost said it. Almost forgot. Oof, we would have to bleep that one out. So, if you don't know though, what I was gonna say, just go look at the promo on YouTube. That's all you gotta do. Next is the Street Profit segment. Montez and Dawkins look on in shock and cut to commercials. So basically, what Sasha said, they were in shock and they were like, all right, so we're gonna go in commercials to 3, 2, 1, commercial. Now, next was Baron Corbin versus Cedric Alexander. So before this match happened, Cedric was backstage getting ready for an interview, and then the OC attacked him for no absolute reason. I'm guessing Cedric Alexander now is going to get a championship match against AJ Styles. Once again, what did he do to get that championship match? He lost to Baron Corbin tonight. What has he done for him to get that championship match? See what I mean? They're just giving them out. It's like, if you get attacked, we have a lucky winner. He's the one that's going to get the match, probably. And it's looking like he probably is going to face AJ Styles at Clash of the Champions for United States Championship. So, Corbin pins Alexander after an end of days. After the match, Corbin sits in the King's chair. So, this was actually a pretty good match. As a matter of fact, this was the best main roster match Baron Corbin has had yet in his WWE career. He's actually a really good in-ring worker. He is. And he's good on the mic. He's a very good heel. He gets heel. He gets the job done. He does what a heel is supposed to do. Most heels today get cheered by the crowd because they just love it. But fans love heels today. But this guy just has that genuine heat. He has that real heat. This guy is kind of he's like a back then old school type of heel character, and I like it. This was a good match. Corbin kept on going after the shoulder of Alexander because they did get attacked by the OC. That was the main target. So first it went from his knees to his shoulder. Attention to detail. I noticed that changed very quick. His knee wasn't really ever an issue during this match. Both of them put up a very good showcase. And most of the matches in the King of the Ring tournament have been good, except for the snooze fest. That was The Miz and Baron Corbin. That one really didn't get me or appeal to me. Next year was the Bayley interview. So, Bayley is asked about Sasha Banks' return and what she thinks about it. And Bayley wants to stay quiet about it. She doesn't really want to answer that type of question. And she doesn't want to feel overshadowed by Becky Lynch, because some say that. And Bayley feels that she's not overshadowed by anybody. And another attention to detail thing. So, last week, Sasha Banks is on Raw. Bayley's on Raw. Why hasn't any of those two crossed paths, I asked. Well, that was answered this week. As you could also tell by the main event, which I will get to in later, it was answered. And they did a really good job continuing this. This right now is the best storyline in all of WWE. What's happening right now with Bayley, Sasha Banks, Becky. This is great stuff. If WWE could continue storylines, also transitioning that into other types of areas in WWE, like the United States Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, the WWE Championship is actually having a good build right now, but the Universal title, the Raw Tag Team title, the Women's title on SmackDown, it will be so much better. The show will be so much better. But yeah. So, during the segment when Bayley was smiling, I was like, I really want Bayley just to turn into a badass, man. I just wanted her to go Super Saiyan in this, and I was like, come on, Bayley's always all smiley and stuff. Ever since she got called up from NXT, you just mostly see her as a goody two-shoe. And to see her turn tonight, possibly heel, this is the right steps moving forward. This is great. So, next was the Viking Raiders versus Local Enhancement Talent. Now, these guys, these local competitors were going against the crowd. They were interviewed before the match and asked why they agreed to this match. They said that they drove all the way from Pittsburgh for the opportunity, and Raw is in Baltimore, so the fans in Baltimore were booing the ones in Pittsburgh. And yeah, so they were getting some heat, I guess, for saying that. And it's looking like maybe the Viking Raiders are going to be faces now, since they beat, I guess, two heels. Who knows? Can we get these guys on actual meaningful matches, please? Next is backstage with Sasha is asked about Bayley's comments, and Banks scares the interviewer away by yelling at her. Yeah, that was great. You have to see that. That was funny. Sasha Banks just went off on that person. Now here was probably the most frustrating part of the whole entire show. So, Samoa Joe versus Ricochet. By the way, my King of the Ring tournament bracket predictions got super kicked in the jaw like 50 times already because I have been wrong on so many things. I thought Baron Corbin was going to be out way early in this tournament. I thought Drew McIntyre was going to win it all. You just hate to see it. So, before the match, Joe says that he's not doing this for any of the people and that King Joe has a good ring to it. I agree, Samoa Joe. I agree. Then, the match ends after the referee counts to 3 when both men have their shoulders down. The referee gets on a headset and talks to someone in the back and asks if they saw the same thing. The ref tells both competitors that they'll decide who won later and leaves. After the decision, Joe asks Ricochet, but the segment ends with Samoa Joe taking a recoil from Ricochet. So yeah, this was a really good match, but at the same time, they haven't really given Ricochet that type of great match on the main roster. All of his matches on NXT were like freaking classics. This guy's great. You know, a lot of people compare Ricochet to AJ Styles, saying that he's the next AJ Styles in WWE when AJ Styles is headed out the door, heading on home to retirement. So they haven't given Ricochet that type of match. I thought we were going to get it tonight, but it kind of ended, you know, one of those type of screwish ways. Both of them had their shoulders up against each other after falling off the top of the rope because Joe had the coquina clutch in, and then like Ricochet fell back with him, and you know, that's how it ended. So, excuse me now. Backstage, Strowman approaches Seth and says that Stone Cold is moderating their contract signing. Strowman says that he doesn't like it because he saw when Austin praised Rollins after winning the Universal Championship. Rollins says that he understands why Braun is paranoid, but Strowman needs to understand that Seth knows what it's like to turn his back on his partners and backstabbed by his best friend. Strowman says that if Austin gets in his face, he'll make sure Stone Cold gets these hands. I don't think you want to say that, Strowman, because he might give you a Stone Cold Stunner and then smash beer all over your face. That's not really a good thing to say, especially if he's going to be there next week. But nah, I'm just messing around. So, yeah, that's what that really consisted of. Just more trying to build that up for next week. Then here was probably the funniest part of the show, the Firefly Funhouse. So, as you all know, I'm a big fan of The Fiend. I'm loving this. Now, he kind of took out like a Vince McMahon doll evil type, and he started feeding him money, and he was telling him basically how he wants a match against Braun Stroman or Seth Rollins, one of those guys. So it's this kind of threw away the fact that The Fiend might be coming out of Hell in a Cell as the WWE Universal Champion. They kind of maybe threw him that away. I would have preferred if he maybe would have been like, he ended it off saying, "I'll see you in hell," and he started waving goodbye. So if I was booking this, I would have completely not even put the Vince McMahon doll on it, and I just would have touched base on what he did in SummerSlam more and kind of make jokes about it in a way, how he kind of did at the beginning, saying how it was very rude of what the Fiend did, and he apologized to Finn Balor. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Finn Balor. This guy might have like, who knows? Maybe he went to AEW. Who knows? Who knows? Nah, he's still in contract with WWE. I'm joking. So, yeah, that's what they call it. They call it the Double Vince Puppet. So, yeah, I would have never have brought up Seth and Braun. Matter of fact, after Clash of Champions, after the match between Seth and Braun, which I think Seth is actually going to win, I think The Fiend should have attacked him there. Just don't have it thrown away because not everybody's going to be expecting it. Now, do I see why they did it? Maybe to get more viewers on Clash of Champions to see, oh wait, when is The Fiend going to attack either Seth or Braun? Or both? Who knows? Next was, Cory Gracie backstage talking to the referee like, oh, what's going to happen? And Corbin was saying like, oh, this is going to be a bye week for me. Referee, though, disagrees and says, no, this is actually going to be a triple threat match next week with Samoa Joe, Ricochet, and Corbin. To be honest, Joe needs this. Joe needs this win. This could be huge for Joe. Either Joe or Ricochet. Corbin doesn't need this. If I had to decide right now, damn, I just put myself in the spot. This is tough now. Man, if I had to decide right now, this is tough. So, Ricochet could really use this, especially so early in his career, but I'm about to go with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe should win this match. Yeah, I'm going with Joe winning this match next week. So now also, after that was Rey Mysterio saying how he's going to get back in the ring, how he's coming back, he's going to do this for his son. He was backstage, and that's what he talked about. Next was Miz versus Cesaro. That is a bathroom break. The fact that the Miz won after what Cesaro did at NXT UK TakeOver, yeah, I was shocked. Cesaro literally delivered 40 Cesaro swings, by the way, in that NXT UK pay-per-view. You gotta watch that. Oh my God, I saw it and I freaked out. I was like, Jesus Christ, imagine the guy on the receiving end of this. How could he even go through this? That is insane. That was crazy. That was a, oh my God moment. Top 10 at least this year of WWE. Or no, not top 5. Top 5. So yeah, Miz wins via pinfall after a skull-crushing finale. Boo, that was not the right decision, but I understand why they did it, because he's fighting Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. I understand why they did it. It should honestly be Cesaro fighting Nakamura, but they just, I don't know, they just don't see something in Cesaro. I see a lot of talent in him, but they just don't. Next here is the main event. This was a great part of the show. So Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Becky Lynch. During the match, Sasha Banks appears. Becky's pissed off. She looks like she wants to put a hole through a wall. And Bayley and Lynch win via disqualification after Sasha hits Becky with the backstabber. And then Sasha gets the chair and continues to beat the living hell out of Becky Lynch. She just continues to hit her. And then Bayley comes in, takes the chair away from Sasha Banks. And Bayley's like, you know, like if she's going to stop this. But I had a feeling that the show, as soon as I saw Bayley take it, I was like, all right, this is going to end up with just them two staring off against each other, Bayley and Sasha. But I was like, wait. I look at the time, I'm like, no, we still got a minute to go. So I started thinking to myself, Bayley's about to turn heel. So basically what I said earlier, while I was watching Bayley backstage in that interview, I was telling myself, I'm probably going to have a small rant of why I think Bayley needs to start being more serious. And out of nowhere, she completely turned that around and hit me with the chair instead. And she hits Becky with the chair too. And she grins and lays, but then grins and lays into Becky too. So yeah, Bayley, I guess might have turned heel tonight. We have to see though. We have to see what happens. I'm not gonna say that she's 100% a heel. We would have to see what transpires in the future events. But yeah, we're gonna have to see. So yes, this is your Monday Night Raw review. I should be back here tomorrow for your Tuesday night SmackDown Live review. Daniel Bryan is expecting an apology from Roman Reigns. And yeah, a lot of questions tomorrow. Big mysteries tomorrow coming ahead of SmackDown Live. So, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment on what you think of what my thoughts were or what you thought about the show. If you disagree with me about anything, leave it down below. Please give it a like, share to your friends, subscribe, notifications on. I know you're loving the green screen. Where are the stars at, huh? Where they at? By the way, the reason why I look down a lot is because of my laptop. I use my laptop a lot for this. So, yeah, that's where I have my notes. So, yeah, my Instagram and Twitter are down below. Thank you for everybody for watching. Take care. Have a great week.